Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here and thank you for inviting me to give a talk again. Always is a pleasure and an honor to be here and to Waterton Center and the gratitude to this place because, like Acho was saying, uh, I was resident here for 2 years and Seisan Roshi very generous opened the door for sitting group on Mondays. And we're just building open gate. Yeah, and thank you. Um, Today, I'd like to share with you some thoughts. And the title for this talk is about building your practice. How you build your practice. I've been reflecting since I left Upaya, been resident there, moving to San Diego. I've been reflecting about what is the training. What is the Zen training of lay practitioners? It has been this question and this reflection, I think, for a long time here in the West. When you go to Japan, and it's quite very structured, the Zen training over there. So you become a monk, you live in a monastery for a little while, you receive the training, and you take care of the temple and your community. If you go to Korea, it's very similar. You become a monk, and you live in a monastery. And Korea, the main order, Chogi order, is a celibate order. So really they follow the Vinaya. And then if you go to the South Asia, you become a monastic, Theravada monk. And the question, how about us as a lay practitioner with many duties, responsibilities? And we might have a different karma. But there are some things that are really, I've been thinking, reflecting. There are things that you have to have and build, pillars or ingredients that you can develop your practice. Not necessarily you have to become a priest, not necessarily you have to become a monk or not. Even you don't need to have the expectation to become a sensei or teacher. And I came with 8 points that for me, based on my training with my Korean teacher, Samu Sunim, they have a seminar to, if it has very clear, you will do your daily practice. And after, suppose the seminar was in 3 years, but very rare somebody finish in 3 years. I finished in 6 years. And I lived 2 years or 3 years as a resident. And he will ordain you. He will ordain you as a Dharma teacher if you don't live in the temple, and ordain you as a priest if you live in the temple. So I was ordained as a priest. Uh, and based in that training and those guidelines, I create something that sometimes people ask me and I can, give it to them and can be useful. But that's what I want to share with you. The first one is to really try to build a daily practice. First of all, you have to make a decision in your heart. What you want to do. What kind of path you want to follow. Buddhism is big. Okay, you want to be a Buddhist? Yes, okay. You can be Tibetan, Theravada, or Zen. They are the most quite popular traditions. Even in Theravada, you can be okay, be monastic, or you follow the insight meditation sanghas, very well known in this country. You want to be Tibetan, there are, I think, 5 schools of Tibetan Buddhism. If you go to Zen, okay, what can the Zen practice? But let's stay with Zen. And Zen, the core of this practice is a Zen. There is no way to do differently. You have to do Zazen. You need to sit. You can sit in a chair or in the cushion. For me, the most difficult to do my practice, to do Zazen, the resistance I have is just from the standing up to the cushion. That's it. That makes big difference. As soon as I cross my legs, all the resistance are gone. So just that, for walking and seeing, now that I live in my sandal and I see the cushions there, it's just that is the big resistance for me. Just from standing now to cross my legs. It can go so many excuses to avoid that. So let's see that we are part of Zen practice. So you have to do Zen. You have to spend certain time really observing yourself, your body and mind, doing nothing. And you're gonna go for instructions to Zen meditation, and you get the technique, so to speak, and you do Zen. And here, the realistic way is to do it daily, every morning and also every evening. That will be just nice. It's very hard. If you have a good discipline, you are self-disciplined, great. Just you attend your agenda and your schedule. You do it. It's almost like I go to the gym or you schedule to go to work. And you do it. You see daily and you can see for 5 minutes, 10, 15, half an hour maximum. And go into your activities. So you start the day with that. But for some people like me, we don't have this self-discipline. So how we do it? So for me, I suggest just try to find the best time in your day when you feel more energetic to do this practice. If you are an early person, maybe 11, 10. If you are a night person, maybe in the night. But try to sit, try to spend some time quiet with yourself. Learning how to be intimate. And then if you do it every day, great. But at least maybe 3 times per week. And the second point that is so important is local sangha. Join to a group of people sitting. To be just by yourself is good. It's okay, but we are no hermits. We have to have this interaction as a human being. It makes a huge difference when you sit with more people energetically than when you are by your own. It's like a fire. If you want to get a really bonfire, you need several logs put it in. Because you have one log is not enough fire. So sangha is is a key sitting with a group of people. Why? Because inspire you to do the practice. That you realize that you are not alone when you want to walk this path. Because when you are by yourself and then getting outside of the cushion, and then you know, in this society, we are going to meet a lot of challenges and a lot of discouragement. You just open the news and then you will say, whoops, there is no peace in this world. There is no, so you can be very negative, very discouraged by what it is outside, so to speak. And with Sangha, you see people that resonate with you, people that have the same values as you, and that's help you, inspire you to continue practicing. And then you join the Sangha once a week, just once a week. If you can join, you know, in daily practice, if the temple or the Sangha or the Sendo has daily practice, it's wonderful. But no, at least make a commitment to show up once a week. Force yourself, really force sitting. Sometimes people, I've been in those groups, and sometimes people, they come to me, and recently I give a talk in my place about Sangha. Come to me like they want to build a Sangha, they don't feel connected. And then I quickly we share the story. There was in Upaya. Upaya had so many programs and Isayo programs, so many let's say activities that you can get involved. So in one of those is local Sangha. When that time, this local Sangha, they were coming only Sundays in the afternoon after Sasen to meet and to discuss a book. In the beginning, they start sitting from 5:30 to 6:30. They'll be sitting over there, and then after, they will share a book, teachings. But that sitting practice start just fading away the participation from that group, and then just they came to just to book a study and to have tea and cookies, and that's it. And they were complaining that they were not having connection with us when I was resident with the residents. And they invited me to give a talk and another teacher as well. And then we say, okay, we meet in December. So we meet in December, and then we talk about the Sangha. And then the teacher, she shared the way how you build a Sangha is by doing Zazen. If there is no Zazen in your Sangha, it's something else. If you are coming and to read a book study, like a reading a book, it's a book study, it's a club, a book club. If you feeding the homeless or doing another activities, you are a charity. If you don't sit, it's good practice. But if you want to build a Sangha, it's through the Zen. And that brings everything to form, that connection. So once a week, you can make that commitment. And another point is study the Dharma or the Dharma talks. Now we are so lucky to have maybe millions of Dharma talks on the internet. You can get the best teacher, listen to. And it's good. A Dharma talk that inspire you to continue practice. And then just you need to listen once a week. Or you can come here to Sweetwater. You do Zazen and you listen Dharma talk. And the other is study. When people ask me about books, and the beginning of Zen coming to here to America, teachers, they say, oh, don't read, first sitting, don't read. After maybe 2 years of sitting, you start reading. That was the advice they will do. And not anymore, we need to get instruction, we need to read, we have to. But when people ask me about that, I say, get any book, a spiritual book, preference, Buddhist book or Zen book, they inspire you to sit. But when after you're reading, you have this aspiration to do Zazen. and also watch that mind. Somebody told me, I don't know, was very attached to reading, and I told her, say, okay, don't give up. Just check how long you spend reading. If you just spend 1 hour, so sit 1 hour. So the equivalent for you reading, do it in silence. Just you check because sometimes we want more, so much into the intellect, just to convince ourselves that we are doing something spiritually. It's good, but we say in Spanish, embotamiento means like you get stuck, you cannot get more. I cannot read any more Zen books. All the Zen books they say the same thing. Stay in the present moment. They say the same thing. You can read the sutras, we know. They might have a different variation approach to the practice, but Zen books is the same. Just one unique, just one good Zen book, and that's it. So there's this study. Another guidance I say is keep a Dharma journal. Keep a journal, and this Dharma journal is like a journal that you record your sittings. Okay, I sit today for 20 minutes. I read this book for 1 hour, or I listen to this Dharma talk. Because it's good. Because when you don't sit, you write, I didn't sit today. And you start catching the bad habits. And 3 questions that my current teacher told me, say, just answer these 3 questions. One is, about how much did you do your Dharma practice, about quantities, and what makes you happy during the day, what brought you joy, and what made you struggle, what was your struggle during the day, and also how you think that you waste your time, like how long you spend on internet, just browsing, and social media, or YouTube videos. Just these 4 questions. What makes you happy, what struggle most, and how you see that you are wasting your time, killing your time. So Dharma journal. Many people have that good practice about journaling. And another that is very important in Zen is to meet a teacher. To meet a teacher, uh, to go for Daisan or Dokusan, to talk about your practice, Or you can find a mentor, like a spiritual mentor, that can help you sometimes with some confusion, or discuss, to explore your practice. But that's important to have a teacher. Then don't worry if you don't have one right now. Just continue sitting, and the sitting is going to take you. It's going to take you to meet that teacher. And then next one that is really important if you want to do the Zen path is sesshin, retreat. That's when people ask me about if the Zen is good for them, I say do a sesshin. And then later you can say, oh, Zen is good for me or not. So you have to have that experience of retreat, of continuous practice. And then the good is to do it in person. To do in person. Yeah, and to follow the schedule, the whole schedule of session, to really show up, to make this window in your life, I say once a year. In the same way that we schedule our holidays, we have to schedule this session practice. this retreat practice. Just to share anecdotes, when I started in Mexico City, so we have this session with the Korean teacher at the end of the year in December every year. He will come from Chicago. He will go to Mexico City. And then all year I was saving. You had to have your Dharma piggy bank saving. And then I was saving for waiting and that, boom. And sometimes they give me scholarship or ways to pay. But that was clear for me, like at the end of the year, to do session. One session. Why? Because my teacher, John Hariba, said, session is like a go to see the dentist for deep cleaning. You brush your teeth every day. You do your sasen every day. You do with the sangha. But you have to do session. It's like the same with cleaning our teeth. We have to go to see the dentist and to do a deep cleaning once a year or twice a year. So that's important. And that's the way how you get deep in your practice, so to speak. And the other two, one is here in our tradition and the white plum, we belong to the same lineage, Maizumi Roshi, Bernie Glassman. Council practice. You have council here. Council practice is it took me 1 year. When I learned council, 1 year I was hating council and I don't know why. But later I love it. Because it's a very good practice, especially with just about myself, about Zen. Zen has quite downside if you don't have the right approach, so to speak. You can shut down and you can just hide in the silence, hide in the robes. And also you can repress a lot. And Zen, if you are not aware. And counsel is about listening. And counsel is about connection. It's about relationship. And that's why you manifest your practice. That's the way how you can integrate your practice. And instead to be this a little hermit monk, just sit, don't make a noise, don't bother me. No, counsel, for me, it was a practice to show up and to learn how to be vulnerable and how to be real and not to hide. So you sit in a circle with the Sangha, and there are guidelines, and you share. And my Sangha, we share about our practice. I see one. And they just listen without judgmental mind and to connect. That's the power of counsel. Deep connection. And the last one that is the most important is about physical practice. Because we need this body to do this practice, to do sazen, to do sitting. And physical practice is important. How we take care of our body. Could be just walking, just hiking. Or it could be that you go to the gym and do cardio, or you can do yoga, or you can do Tai Chi, or you can do Qigong. There are so many physical practices because they help you. The practice of Zen is Buddhism. Zen is embodiment practice. And you start learning how to be connected with your body. Besides, you cultivate a healthy body. So you are get out from the head, from all the time thinking, all the time using our brain and intellect, and be in the body. Dancing is just fantastic. Dancing is just great practice. So that you build this, and just to end in and open to Q&A. So some things that I see in this practice, commitment is important. You have to commit. That is very important. A step to commit Uh, I have seen many practitioners or spiritual practitioners that they have this big cocktail of practice, like so many things, so many choices. Like you go to the store, and you go to get a cereal box, and then you have many variations, even the same brand, the same picture, but here unsweetened, this sweetened. Now 70% of this and 30% of that. It's just amazing. So we can go into this kind of mind with our spiritual practice. Yeah, I want to do Zen, but there's no painful. I don't have a knee pain. I want to do meditation, but not to sleep, not to struggle with the sleepiness. So many things. And then so you can get to this, variation, cocktail, so many choices, so many disciplines. When no one, you get deep. So you have to pick one, and you get this. You really go all the way. You can have, different. I say like a hobby. I love shamanism. My hobby to read about shamanism, Mother Earth, and all that connections. So my practice, my root practice, and my spinal practice is Zen. And so discipline, but discipline not in the militaristic way. It's just discipline about the routine, doing over and over again, keep doing it over and over again. The habit, build a good habit. And another point, patience. You have to be patient in this plan. It doesn't grow, it's very slow. It's like a slow cooker. You put in a slow cooker your food, in this case your meat, and then you keep it all overnight, cooking it slowly. It's gonna taste very nice in the juice or what you cook. The same with this Zen. With this Zen practice, it's slow, slow. Rushing out make it worse. So be patient, perseverance, because we have this habit of as soon we say the first difficulty, I don't like it, and we drop it, and we go to the next. Just to build that resilience, perseverance. And it's about a lot of perseverance. It's not like a 100 meters sprint. It's like a marathon, or maybe ultra marathon, for those 100 miles or kilometers. It's a long way. So you have to be staying. And we go up, we tool down a little bit the enthusiasm, but we continue. We continue showing up. That's the perseverance. And then you can read about biography, or you can check about senseis. You can ask how long they have been practicing from the first time, and they will tell you. I haven't met a sensei the 3 years. Tell me, oh, just 3 years and 2 sessions. Maybe there are some, I don't know, but most of the time there are at least a decade, 10 years of practice. I really work with the teacher. And keep it simple. That's the key. Keep it simple. Go back to the basics. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, your practice. And the three stones that my teacher told me about to build a practice. First is don't worry. Don't worry. Give a break. We worry a lot. We preoccupy a lot. We have already too many problems in our lives, too many decisions, struggles already. So practice, it doesn't have to be a problem. It doesn't have to be a struggle. So don't worry. Don't worry about your practice. Just keep it the ingredients. Keep it deep sitting. Just don't worry. Really. Trust and that's silent. And the other 2 points, appreciate. Build a practice of appreciation and contentment. An instant to see the lack of the situation, what is missing, what is lacking. Appreciate. Instant to see that you couldn't sit for 30 minutes today. Appreciate that you sat for 5 minutes. At least you sat for 5 minutes. But appreciating that. Contentment, building contentment means like there is nothing missing or lacking in your life. Start learning that. And the last one, gratitude. Be gratitude. Be grateful. Be grateful for to born in this human form. That's what the Buddha said about. And to end with this, to find the Dharma, he said, to find the Dharma is like this probability of a blind turtle swimming in the ocean, try to find a ball that can rest with a hole. So you found right now the ball. So now you have to put your head into the hole that you can have a little rest. But that is the probability that a human being can find the Dharma. So you found it. So this is be grateful for that. Be grateful for your human form. Gratitude, build a practice of gratitude in your life. I'm going to stop here, and then maybe we have some time for Q&A. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Easy questions.